I've been wrong about something. I'm not quite sure when I kept getting it wrong, at what point over the past several years. But I've mostly been wrong. Not entirely, but mostly been wrong about something. I used to think, learning now, but I used to think a lot of you liked those the way Austin used to be, get off my lawn rants. Those. I used to think that you found them somewhat informative and or entertaining. That's the way things used to be in Austin, get off my lawn rants. I don't think so anymore. I'm pretty sure of it. But Jeff, does that mean you're about to do it? Yes, it does actually. But I'm acknowledging I don't think you like it. I've got a few ideas why it is you don't like it. So I'm going to throw it back in your face with the complete understanding that you probably won't like it. The reason why I bring it up is this is just funny to me. I can't say and will not say, I don't want to talk to anybody's lawyer. I can't say somebody took the idea from me. I'm not going to go there. But there's a new book that pretty much highlights most of the way Austin used to be, get off my lawn kind of rants. It elaborates a lot more, but it's interesting to me. The book, by the way, is right. That's coming out. From what I've read, it's right. Absolutely. And I think it has a bigger purpose. Now, I assume it has a bigger purpose. That bigger purpose is this, that the city of Austin is, you're going to see this in other places, what has happened to Austin. The book points out, that local government needs to do more to sort of rein things in, that if you're not careful, other major cities will follow the same way. I mean, I think that's the bigger purpose of the book, the nerdier purpose of the book. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but the book points out, as I've said many times, and you get offended and you try to fight back. No, this is not the live music capital of the world anymore. In fact, there's very little compared to the way it used to be. Notice how I said that, compared to the way it used to be. Did the Austin City Limits Music Festival, which happens in a couple of days, help or hurt that? I don't think it hurt. I'm not going to go there. But I can even pinpoint. I just wish I could remember the day and the hour and the moment in which I said it. But I want to say it's around 2010-ish, somewhere in there. I can pinpoint the exact moment that I was sitting behind a microphone and said, this might be it, Austin. It's over. And people flipped out, stuff like that. But let me set this up for you. Then I'll explain to you why I'm pretty sure people hate hearing this stuff from me. New book details how Austin, Texas lost its magic and the larger threat its trajectory represents. This is in thehill.com. I read there. I go there for politics. Austin's magic has slipped away thanks to poorly planned development run amok, a new book argues. I mean, I can even stop there, that first sentence. Again, most people don't know anything about local government. Most people have no clue who's in office or has been in office. Most people don't give a flip. They really don't. Do you agree with that? I mean, I can bore you and give you a long history of the mistakes made by local government, but they were mistakes made mostly because most of us that lived here a long time ago said, don't, you're not doing that in my backyard, back off. And so they backed off. The answer to that, I think, fairly is, partly yes, partly yes. I'm okay with that. The name of the book is Lost in Austin. And journalist Alex Hannaford details how spiking rents have sent development sprawling into the Texas city's ecologically sensitive hinterlands. I never use that word. Increasing traffic, sucking up the source of its water, and potentially spelling a warning for its doom. Jeez. I mean, in some ways, the doom's happened. I'm happy to make that argument. This trajectory from laid-back, compact college town to global city has hollowed out much of what made Austin grow, he contends. Hannaford moved to Austin in 2003. Oh, wow, you really are. Wow. That is a long time by most standards. Huh. It was still, quote, an affordable city. The artists and musicians and people of all backgrounds and economic stratuses could live in. From about 2015, he points out, prices began to spike, driven by the city's embrace of tech industries. During the same period, the city's supposed position as the music mecca has slowly eroded, he writes. The old-time venues that hosted the up-and-coming artists who gave Austin its reputation as a creative mecca had been lost. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yes, all true. Let me point out a few things here. All that's accurate. I mean, shut up. I can tell you what people like to feel like and how they really don't like hearing, it used to be. The book points out accurately that the music and I would say art class, I would even take it further to the hippie class. And I know most people don't even know what that is or what that really looks like. You just like to say those kinds of things. But the hippie class, the artist class, and a lot of minority groups were driven out. No, absolutely. No argument whatsoever. Yes, it happened. A lot of that stuff is just fundamental economics. But yeah, I mean, the art class that occupied this city, the interesting people, the different people, completely driven out. No argument. If that offends you, too damn bad, because we all look just alike and we sound alike. We drive the same cars. It didn't used to be that way. The book doesn't say this, but I think it's implied. And I'll say it. This is one of the least, if not the least diverse big cities in the United States. I'll be honest, I don't even know what compares. And every now and then it'll come up with people. You sort of meander before you get to the point, but eventually somebody says it. And it's true. It doesn't mean the people here are bad necessarily. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily worse than where you came from, some suburban Houston area or Dallas or something. But there's no diversity. And there's not much creativity. I'm not saying there's not talented people to live here, but it's not a class, a cultural area of the city where there's a haven for this stuff. It's been driven out. Local government, this is true. And I don't want your eyes to glaze over yet because we can start fighting in a second. But look, local government catered to and bent over for big corporations. Some of it was naturally happening. I've said this many times, and MAGA hats hate to hear this kind of stuff, but brains follows brains and money follows money. And so when you have this giant school churning out smart people who don't want to go back to Houston and Dallas, it's only natural that the money is going to follow them, and then more money is going to follow them, and it goes and it goes and it goes. So, I mean, a lot of that was going to happen no matter what, but there's no denying that was once a wacky, weird, very green, very, very green, nutty local government began to cater to big corporations and giving breaks and sucking up, and it did turn. But it's not all local government's fault. It's not, okay? And most people don't even know anything about local government anymore. None. And don't care. The city kind of operates on its own in spite of itself. But local government isn't weird and eclectic. And it used to be. I'm telling you, it really did used to be. It was very weird. It's plastic. It used to, you say, oh, it's a very green city. Shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. So it's very plastic. But here's what I've come to understand about even bringing this stuff up. And I kind of understand now after a while. And certainly this happened on YouTube. But as the demographics have changed, as the people that, the fewer and fewer people that have been here for any length of time, the author of this book has been here since, 2003? Well, okay. This is what I've understand about people that don't like to hear the way it used to be kind of rants, or even a sensible conversation about the way it used to be. I mean, I think it's fascinating to point out about, it's a city of a lot of smart people, ridiculously smart city, and how few people really give a flip about voting locally. I mean, it's amazing how few people even know. There's no connection to local government whatsoever. And it's surprisingly not really hurt us. But tell me I'm wrong. The response to the way it used to be goes like this. Tell me I'm wrong on this. You don't care about how it used to be. You just don't care. Most people really don't care. And I kind of understand that. I think they're even sympathetic to a point, but they really just don't care. Yeah, it's nice, buddy. Move out of my way kind of thing. Because I think a lot of people would say, I don't care, and it's still better, I think, than where I came from. And that's true. Right? You came from plastic Los Angeles or plastic Dallas or plastic Houston, something like that. Yeah. So, but here's the thing that I noticed that people have a really difficult time with. And I don't like it being pointed out. You like the idea of Austin being weird, even though it's not at all. Sorry. It's not. But you like it. You like to say it. You can even watch a football game, and in the start of the football game will be some discussion about, oh, what a great cities, and oh, boy, keep Austin, where they say it about 70 times. You love saying it. You love thinking it. You have no idea what living it is, and you really wouldn't even like it that way. But it's fun to say. It's kind of cool, even though nothing is weird. I don't even know where anybody's weird anymore. The other thing I've come to realize, and it makes sense, is that, look, think of it this way. People that move here want to be happy with the move, right? Every day you can read these stories. People write, particularly in Business Insider, I see a lot of these. And it's funny, people that have moved from California to the East Coast will write about, and they usually point out the same thing. I thought it was going to be weird. I thought it was going to be cool. It's nothing like I thought. And I don't understand how people don't know it's hot. I really don't understand you. But they usually freak out and go, I can't believe how hot it is. But people don't like to be told they've moved here, and then you think, well, it used to be better. I don't really want to hear that. In fact, they get sick of hearing it. Well, not sick of hearing it because I'm the only one that says it. So, the weird part is a phrase that stuck. It's fun to say, and people want to be comfortable they made the move. So people like the image of what Austin was, and they like to hang on to the image of it because people prefer it that way. It sounds cooler than where you came from. The other thing I've come to realize, though, that makes sense is you don't want to be told it sucks now. I don't know how many times I've done it, and then people go, I don't really want to hear that. Have you ever been to Plano? Yeah. You mean where the 7 million strip centers? Yes. Yeah, well, that's what this is like now. It sucks. And so about that time, they're kind of bummed out and move on and don't talk to you. So I get it. It's not much fun to point that out. I don't really know what the book is going to do. I don't know who's going to buy it. Because I'm thinking you don't want to hear this stuff. Now, you may want to argue, but it's going to tell other cities what not to do. That may be fair. But if you spend the whole book like I'm spending the first 10 minutes of the show saying, man, it's nothing like it used to be, people get bummed out about it. You want to like it. People that move here want to like it. I think they do because it's better than where you've come from, no doubt. It's different than most places. But in reality, here's what I think is true. Here's the rough part. I think those of us that liked it and want to talk about the way it was, I think we're too old to matter. I don't think we matter. I think our number has shrunk so badly and we're so completely out of touch and out of the mainstream, we don't matter. Not only do they not want to hear us, I don't think they care. And either that or the few that would qualify as having known Austin or been here any length of time, they're gone anyway for any number of reasons. Summary, people don't care. Those of us that do and want to bring it up, I'm afraid they're going to tell us we don't matter enough. Interesting book, though. I mean, I don't know if this is the best time to throw it out there. I think that window may have been a few years ago, and there was enough people from Austin that said, oh, man, this is a real story and how not to let big tech take over and everybody become plastic. But I think it's too late. I can hear it now. Jeff, shut up. Get back on your lawn. We don't care.